Although Drupal is known as a content management system, it's also a user management system. One feature of that is roles, which lets you impose complex security controls with confidence. A role simply categorizes users into groups. You then grant permissions to these groups. But first things first, let's talk about roles. You get there by clicking People, and then the Permissions tab, and then this little button, Roles. To start off with, you don't have very much. You have the anonymous user, that is someone who's not logged in, authenticated user, someone who is logged in, and there's the administrator role, which we discussed a little bit about in the video about account settings. I'm going to just add one here, and I'm going to call it Content Manager. And then click Add Role. That's really all you have to do. However, now you can start to rearrange them by dragging them up and down, and then once you've done that, save order. If you go back and edit any of these roles, you actually don't get very much. It's just the name of the role, or you could delete it by clicking Delete. Similarly, by clicking Edit Permissions, it takes you back to that permissions screen, except it only shows you that one role. Generally speaking, I find that less useful than going to People, and then Permissions, and seeing all of the roles, because then I can compare one to the other. But anyway, let's get back to our roles. So now we have this extra role. What does that give us? Nothing, until it's applied to users. So let's take a look at all of our users. By clicking List here, we're already on the People tab. Let's say the site's been up for a while, and we've really gotten to know this Pollyann Saturated well and gotten to trust her. She's an active member of the site, and we want to make her a content manager. There are two ways that you can do that. One is by editing that person's profile, like so, and adding the content manager role and then clicking Save. Or if I go back, you can do it to multiple people at once by clicking their boxes, going up to Update Options, and adding the role, and click Update. So you might ask, how does that affect what she can do on the site? Actually, it doesn't at all, until you start giving that role some permissions, and you would do that again under People and Permissions. We'll talk about that more in the video, Controlling Access Permissions. Now, once you do start granting such permissions, you'll be able to delegate just about every task on your site to trusted outside people. That's important, and I remember what an instructor said to me once in a class about nonprofit management. She said, whatever someone else can do, don't you do. Delegating lets you grow your site beyond what you personally have the skills and time for. This system of roles is Drupal's way of making that possible.